You're listening to the Crystal Bar podcast, where crystals, astrology, and aligned living meet the cycles of the moon and year. I'm Claire, and each week I bring guidance and stories to inspire you to live with clarity, connection, and purpose. So take a deep breath, make this time for you, and let's begin. Hello, my lovely podcast friends, and welcome back. I hope you're doing wonderfully wherever you are. And do you know what? It's time. Just pop the kettle on if you can. Grab a cup of tea, or if you're driving, eyes on the road, obviously. And let's have a little cosmic catch up together because, firstly, yes, do not adjust your calendars. It is Thursday. I can only apologise. Yesterday kind of went a little bit not wrong. It was a really lovely day. I had a day out of the office doing all the things that you should do, like self-care and all that jazz. And I had every faith that when we got back into the office for the evening just to do some admin, I was going to record the podcast then. But no, it didn't happen. We kind of had a late takeaway, naughty takeaway. We were just enjoying the evening, to be honest, after a really lovely day out and about. And yeah, so here we are. I can only apologise. For those of you who messaged, I saw your messages. I promise I wasn't ignoring you. But here we go. Because really and truthfully, I want to ask you, how are you feeling? Because I don't know about you, but the last days have been quite something energetically. Wow. We've just come out of that very powerful full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. And of course, eclipses can stir things up quite a bit. They're almost, I guess, like the universe saying to you, it's time. Let's go. Let's shake things up. They come into your home, they tip everything out and they say, right then, what are we actually going to keep here as well? Because my goodness, not only did we shed loads with the year of the snake ending and then the fire horse energy coming in, we've also had this powerful eclipse driving things up into the mind and driving things back into our lives actually, so that we could re-examine them and find out if we'd really healed properly or whether we just closed the door and tried to bury it under the carpet. So whatever you're feeling, honestly, we've just stirred things up a little bit, I think is the best way to put it. And Virgo, bless it, also loves a bit of organisation and reorganisation. So yeah, if you've been feeling a little bit out of sorts and like you want to sort stuff out, make moves, make changes, move on, realign, reassess, yeah, there's a reason for that, because basically we are having a huge cosmic spring clean. Your routines, your habits, your relationships, even your work. You are not alone though. Most of us are feeling it. If people are feeling it, they may not be acknowledging it because they may not be understanding the significance of it. But this energy at the moment is very much about sorting, clearing, refining, and the best bit though, improving. Also, I don't know about you, but have you seen the sunsets and the sunrises over the past few days? Today I took a photo. I need to share that to the socials in my stories, but they have been absolutely unreal. The sky has been glowing in these incredible shades of orange, gold and pink, and it just feels like the universe is putting on one heck of a display, like celestial art for us all. And do you know what, honestly though, I love moments like this because they remind us that nature mirrors energy. When things are shifting energetically, we often see it reflected in the sky. The weather, the atmosphere, all around us, it feels different and aligned with what is going on I'm going to say a word then, it's not even a word. Cosmically, there we go, we'll get that word out there. And do you know why it's actually doing this? There we go. I've learned something on the news today. We have got this amazing Sahara desert cloud coming up from Africa over Europe. I don't know how far it's spreading, but the reason for these beautiful sunrises and sunsets is because it's filtering those sun rays. So, I'm talking vivid beautiful, stunning colours. I mean, we get them anyway in spring and autumn, but yeah, we are in for a huge treat over the coming days. So get your cameras ready. I want to see your photos. Tag me in them, send them to me. It'd be wonderful to share in this beautiful energy with you. So we've also got the eclipse energy settling at the moment. We're heading deep into Pisces season and we're still in Mercury retrograde. Now, I know Mercury retrograde sometimes gets this bad reputation. We speak about this a lot, but poor Mercury, it really does get blamed for everything, doesn't it? Lost keys, it's Mercury retrograde. Text your ex by accident, it's Mercury retrograde. Printer not working, definitely Mercury retrograde. But do you know what? Actually, retrogrades are incredibly valuable because they slow us down. They ask us to pause, reflect, review, and reconsider. And when you combine that with Pisces season, which is deeply intuitive, creative, emotional, spiritual, this becomes a very powerful time for something that many of us struggle with. Letting go. And you know what? I need to stop saying that. I'm so sorry. Every time I say it, take a drink or a sip of your tea or just, I don't know. But I am so sorry. It's one of my bad habits at the moment. I've been around someone that says it a lot and it's imprinted on me. I'm terrible like that. When I am around people with accents, after a few days, I start getting an accent within my vocabulary. The way I speak words, it definitely changes. So I can only apologise, but I guess it's perfect for this subject I want to talk about letting go. So hang on, let me reset and let's get into this. So letting go. Because letting go isn't just about releasing things dramatically and saying, I'm done with this forever. Sometimes letting go is a lot quieter. Sometimes it's really simply saying that, no, that doesn't work for me anymore. Or actually, I'm going to choose myself here, like I've been doing lately. It's honestly really enlightening, so go for it. And I think one of the most powerful spiritual practices and one of the hardest is learning the art of saying no. No to things that drain you. No to things that feel heavy. No to things that no longer align with who you're becoming. And the funny thing is, every time we say no to something that isn't right for us, we're actually saying yes to ourselves. And that is a huge shift. We've also recently moved into Year of the Horse, which is such an interesting energy. I'd also be really interested to hear how you're getting on with that. Whether it became as fast and as a momentum building as people predicted, or whether you're experiencing a different energy. Horses are apparently about movement, freedom, independence, and momentum, and they don't stand still for long. They run, they explore, they move forward. So, energetically, supposedly, if you're feeling it, this year is asking you, where do you need more freedom in your life? Where are you holding yourself back? Where are you ready to move forward, but perhaps you've been waiting for self permission? Because sometimes we think we need something or someone to open the gate. And do you know what? The gate is actually open. You just have to walk through it. This is your opportunity to shine. This is your dream, your goal, and you don't need anyone's permission to take that step forward. So go for it. What have you got to lose? What's the worst that could happen? But to me, the worst that could happen is having that question in your mind. Oh, sorry if you could hear that. That was Arnie shaking. But it's having that question in your mind. What if I don't do it? What if I don't try? What could I lose out on or miss out on? And that's the only question you should be asking yourself right now. If I had to choose one crystal to work with over the next 7 days, it would absolutely be labradorite. And the reason I love labradorite for this moment is because it's known as the stone of transformation. It's going to help you navigate change. It's going to strengthen that intuition, and it's going to protect your energy whilst you're evolving. Because when you're shedding these old layers, which is exactly what eclipse energy encourages, you want something that supports you whilst you grow into your next version of yourself. We can try to cling to people when we're evolving. It's very shaky, it's very scary. And yes, it's good to have support, but just remember the real work needs to come within. Evolving and involving too many people can really damage what you're trying to obtain, because you can start listening to the thoughts and sounds and opinions of others. So as long as you're clear, just be direct and go for it. Please do. Honestly, I feel this strong energy when talking to you today. Go, go, go. In fact, today's message of the day would be good for you. Have a look at that as well, because it's about that clarity that's rising within you. It's bubbling, and you want something, as I say, that supports you whilst you grow into your next version of yourself. So if you've got labradorite at home, pop it in your pocket, wear it, meditate with it, or just keep it nearby this week. It's going to be singing and zinging for you and reflect those beautiful multi-layers and flashes into your eyes, your soul, and just feel the changes happen around you. Honestly, it's a wonderful companion for transitional energy. It's actually as well one for creating magic. So if you feel a bit lost, it will help you find your path again and be reminded that you are able to navigate the changes and the troubles you might be experiencing. And you are, I was going to swear then. Stop swearing, Claire. You are stronger than you realize. You are capable. Say it right now with me. I am capable. I am strong, and I can cope with whatever life brings me. I've coped with my hardest days. I can absolutely get through the next days coming up with strength, resilience, and ability. Gosh, I don't know. I don't know about you, but I have felt so good the last few days. I felt really strong and really clear on what I need to do next. Hence yesterday. Yesterday was definitely a self-care day. I did my dentist appointment. I did other things I needed to do. I put myself first, above and beyond everything, because when you run your own business, you tend to get smothered by that. And it's a good thing, because obviously it's good to have passion and want to drive that forward, but occasionally you just have to put yourself first. And my husband finished work early. We went out for a nice drive. He went for a nice haircut. We went and saw our friends around the town, had lots of lovely conversations, laughter. Yeah, it was a really good day. So just learn from that not everything has to be routine, and not everything has to be a hindrance. Try and see the good in everything and make the best of everything too. Now, before we finish today, I want to talk about which zodiac signs might be feeling this energy the most. I'm probably not going to mention everyone. In fact, no, hang on. Let me just read my notes back. I've highlighted 6 that I can see on the charts. I apologise if yours isn't here, but these are the ones that I felt would be particularly feeling it quite noticeably at the moment. So, with that being said, Virgo and Pisces, I feel like this eclipse is happening across your romance chart at the moment. You might feel like romance is a little bit bubbly. That's the word I explain. All I can see is like bubbles. Things might be going up and down and popping around you. I feel like if you're single, that there's going to be a real interesting conversation. Out of nowhere, you're going to be somewhere you don't expect to be, and someone's going to kind of shimmy in and have a conversation with you and leave a lasting effect. Take their phone number if they offer it, because at first you won't see them for what they could be, but I feel like something's going to be bubbling under the surface. The eclipse is actually happening across your axis of the zodiac. Also, as well, Gemini and Sagittarius might also feel some shifts, particularly around direction and priorities, which explains me then. And Taurus and Capricorn could actually feel quite empowered by this energy, like something is finally starting to move forward. You just need to take that step and take the lead. I feel like you are being governed by someone else and they're pushing their feelings and thoughts forward. But you know what? Take the lead and you will not regret it. But honestly, regardless of your sign, eclipse energy tends to ask the same questions of all of us. What are you ready to release so that something better can arrive? So as we move through the rest of the week, be gentle with yourself. Take things slowly. Watch those beautiful skies if you get the chance. And remember that sometimes growth doesn't come from doing more. Sometimes it just comes from simply letting go of what was never meant to stay, the things that upset you, the ability of not being able to say no, the pressures around you. Turn your phone off, sit with what you love best, and just take a moment for yourself. So thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I always love having these little cosmic chats with you. And if you enjoy learning about crystals, astrology, and working with energy, you can explore our courses anytime at thecrystalbar.academy. But my lovelies, until next time, take care of yourselves, keep shining, and remember, the right crystal will always find you. Before you go, I have a very special discount code for you, especially for those of you who love buying crystals. So, the code is podcastcrystal. If you use this at checkout at thecrystalbar.co.uk, you will get a very secret discount. And yes, it is a secret because I changed the value of the code throughout the year. So who knows what discount you will receive. But I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. I hope you found it beneficial. And if you have, I'd be really grateful if you could just leave a comment, leave a review. And of course, if you have a friend who loves crystals just like us, please do share it with them. Sending you love, sending you light. Have a great week because honestly, my lovelies, you really do deserve it. And as I said earlier, remember, the right crystal will always find you.